Imagine waking up, walking outside your door, and realizing every single person in your town is gone. Not just your neighbors, everyone. The markets are silent, meals are still sitting on tables, and personal possessions rest exactly where they were left the night before, untouched. This scenario played out in the dark of a single night in 1825. This is Kuldhara, located in the harsh Thar Desert of Rajasthan, India. Over 1,500 people lived across this sprawling network of stone houses. And then, by morning, all of them were gone. There were no signs of a struggle or a violent raid. No bodies were found. No historical records indicate they packed up their carts for a massive, coordinated migration to a neighboring kingdom. An entire population simply dissolved into the desert air without making a sound. Today, the aftermath of that night requires official government action. The Archaeological Survey of India maintains the site, but local authorities mandate a strict curfew. As soon as the sun sets, the perimeter gates are securely locked. No one is allowed inside these ruins after dark. Today, Kuldhara exists in an active standoff between the rational attempts of historians to map a logical evacuation and the paranormal evidence suggesting something keeps this land empty. To understand the vacuum left behind, we have to look at who occupied these homes. Kuldhara was established in the 13th century by the Paliwal Brahmins. They were a highly industrious community of agriculturalists and traders who built intricate sandstone mansions in prominent temples, carving wealth out of a harsh environment. Their prosperity eventually attracted the attention of Salim Singh. As the prime minister of the controlling Jaisalmer state, he ruled from heavily fortified strongholds and extracted vast amounts of wealth from the region. He regularly squeezed the surrounding villages with exorbitant taxes to fund his own lifestyle. In 1825, during a tax collection visit, his greed shifted to an obsession with the village chief's daughter. He delivered a brutal ultimatum to the community: hand the young woman over to him by the night of the next full moon, or he would unleash his army and annihilate the entire town. The Paliwals were trapped. Submitting to Salim Singh's demand meant abandoning their honor and religious convictions, but attempting to fight off a heavily armed regional military force would result in a massacre. As the deadline arrived, guards watched the village. They saw the fires burn inside the homes and heard the cattle in their pens. Yet when the sun rose and the troops marched through the gates to execute Salim Singh's orders, they found absolutely nothing but empty streets and silence. According to the local folklore, as the final residents crossed the village boundaries, they placed a hex on the soil. They cursed the land itself, declaring that anyone who attempted to resettle Kuldhara would face immediate financial ruin and death. Modern historians tend to look past the supernatural folklore. When investigating a sudden mass evacuation, they look for a grounded, environmental breaking point. They engineered a sophisticated network of sloped stone catchments and stepwells to funnel desert rainfall into protected underground aquifers. But geological records indicate a severe, prolonged drought struck in the early 19th century. The aquifers ran dry, crops failed, and the community faced imminent starvation. Facing a collapsing ecosystem and Salim Singh's escalating taxes, the villagers likely made a choice. They coordinated a massive evacuation over a period of weeks, slipping away entirely unnoticed through hidden routes across the dunes of the Thar Desert. Extreme drought logically explains why and how 1,500 people abandoned their massive stone homes. But a purely scientific perspective still has to contend with the reports of the dark energy that remains. For nearly 2 centuries, neighboring communities have attempted to reoccupy the land. Locals report a consistency. Anyone who tries to build a new structure or place a roof over these ancient stone walls watches it mysteriously collapse. To test the claims of a lingering hex, investigators from India's Paranormal Society utilized electronic recording equipment. They spent nights stationed right at the locked perimeter to gather data from the empty streets. Their sensors picked up specific environmental anomalies. The investigators logged extreme localized drops in temperature that defied the desert climate, alongside shadows darting through the ruined structures on their thermal cameras. The most chilling data came from their audio sweeps. Electronic voice phenomenon, or EVP, devices placed near the old homes, captured faint but distinct disembodied sounds. When played back, the audio revealed the unmistakable sound of children crying in a village that has been empty for 200 years. These findings align with the centuries-old folklore. The investigation suggests that whatever the Paliwals did before they fled, they left a tangible, hostile energy behind. Modern history can logically track the evacuation of the Paliwals, yet it cannot map the dark, lingering energy that still repels human life. Kuldhara stands as a monument to a defiant people. Faced with total subjugation and a collapsing environment, they chose to walk into the unknown of the desert, cleanly separating themselves from their oppressors. And we have to acknowledge the result of their final act. Whether the curse was a brilliant psychological deterrent designed to terrify Salim Singh's men, or a genuine supernatural hex, it worked. Salim Singh is long dead. The Paliwals are gone. 200 years later, their warning remains unbroken, leaving Kuldhara empty, silent, and abandoned forever.